didn't realize until last year why women love this dude so much. Not Ryan Gosling. Of course we love him. But Noah. A lot of feminists have written articles about all the ways that this dude is toxic. And I'm going to mention some of those. But I think the main reason why women are just like, oh, I love the Noah is two main reasons. For starters, that scene where he's like, what do you want? What do you want? Screw what they want. What do you want? In that moment, we're not used to men saying, like, center yourself. Don't think about me. Don't think about anyone else. Center yourself. My husband says that to me on a regular basis because he knows that I make decisions based on codependency a lot and being like, what does everyone think I should have? Or being a good daughter or a good sister or whatever. And I don't often listen to my intuition because of either my codependency or patriarchy or trauma response or literally anything other than my intuition is like a bullhorn in my ear. And he holds a microphone to my intuition and being like, babe, what do you want? So I get why we love this dude for that because we're not used to men even caring or even encouraging us to ask ourselves that. The other reason why we're like, wow, Noah, is because we actually, can't believe that this dude stayed with her. Like, not only just stayed with her, didn't, run off with a new toy, a shiny new toy, right? Throw away his family and everything because he wants a younger woman, blah, blah, blah. But he actually cared for her. We know that men are statistically 6 times more likely to leave and file for divorce when their wife becomes chronically ill. So the fact that he actually went against the norm and was like, you know what? I should take care of this woman that I dedicated my whole life to and that I love. She did birth all my children after all and take care of me. And this is like old timey, right? This was back when stuff really sucked. But now I look at it and I'm like, are you really taking care of her, bro? I don't know. Like, my dad died of Alzheimer's. And I cannot imagine going and visiting him at the memory center. Now, I know this is my dad, not my husband. It's the only person I know who had Alzheimer's. So I know a lot about Alzheimer's. And I cannot imagine every day trying to get my father to go back into his old self and remember his life and be like, oh yeah, I know your mom. I was married to her. Oh, you're my daughter. All that stuff. And traumatize him just so I could get a glimpse of the old self. I mean, actually, my dad, when he had Alzheimer's, he became like a nice person. His old self was a dick. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, every day, reads that stupid book. He's like, remember Allie and Noah and blah, blah, blah. And spends the whole day trying to get her to remember. And then finally she's like, I remember. And he's like, yeah, hey, there you are. Hey. And then she's like, bah. Leave her alone, dude. If you really cared about her, leave her alone and let her be in peace. And take care of her without getting her to relive a nightmare every day. And I say nightmare because their love story doesn't sound fun. I mean, he admittedly, in the movie, is like, well, we didn't really, all we did was fight. We didn't really agree on much. Like, this couple is like cautionary tale of struggle love. This movie is normalizing struggle love, but like, I'm not even convinced they love each other. Because, by the way, if you want to see a whole video about all the reasons why Noah sucks, like Mojo or whatever on YouTube, it says, reason Noah is the worst, okay? But, when they first meet, he's like, wow, look at that pretty girl. She's on a date. She's not interested. And he just has to have her. Can't take no for an answer. Dude already has a problem with consent, right? And then she's just ignoring him, minding her own business on a date. And he's like, well, if I hang off the Ferris wheel and threaten Shmua's side, will you go out with me then? And she's like, what? And he's like, no, for real. I'm gonna die. Will you go out with me now? Will you go out with me now? If this isn't some narcissistic BS, I don't know what is. This is the start of their relationship. He literally manipulates her, like bullies her with threatening to unalive himself to get her to go on a date. Now, if you've seen any of my content, I talk a lot about how men will threaten to keep a woman. He did it just to even go out with her. Like, bro. And then on their first date, he's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's lay in the street. Wait for a car to come run over us. And she's all like, this seems stupid. Couldn't we get, run over? And he goes, that's your problem. You don't know how to trust. Like, right out of the gate, this dude is awful. Don't listen to your intuition. Don't listen to common sense. Lay in the road with me. A man you just met who threatened to get you to go out with me. And then a car actually comes. And they have to run to get out of the way. Like, what? How is that romantic? Oh, right. A man wrote this. All of their love scenes, they don't really seem to talk about anything meaningful. He's all like, what do you want me to be? What do you want me to be? I'll be it. I'll be it. Just love me. Love me. Which is why I tell y'all, the most dangerous men on the planet and ones that you should never, ever, ever, ever date are insecure men who don't know themselves. Which is, of course he ends up playing, I love him as an actor. Of course he plays Ken or the Ken cell. That's one of I can't remember who put that in my comments, but thank you. Ken's an incel. This dude, he's on the spectrum of incel. I just want you. You're pretty. I'll do anything to get you. I don't know anything about you. I don't even care. Just please date me. Complete me. I don't care if your parents hate me. I don't care if you give up going to college. Just date me. He even admits, he's like, I got nothing going on. I'm not going to be successful. He's all like, I'm a loser. But you go do your college. This dude is a classic example of the way men weaponize our empathy. Never date a man you feel sorry for. Never. It will not end well for you. Then one day she's all like, I want to live in a house that's like white and like has an art room. And then this dude becomes obsessed and spends 7 years building a house. Y'all, grand gestures. I'm not saying that grand gestures are always bad, but I am saying that oftentimes they're not good. It's weird. All this because she just mentioned that she wanted a house with an art room, even though she comes from a ton of money and could have bought that one herself. But he's on a mission. Y'all, he's not doing this for her. He's doing this for him. He has nothing going on for him. And I'm not saying this in a classist way, but he literally has nothing. The abusive dude that I dated, I remember one time I was like, so what have you been doing all day? He's like, thinking about you. And I was like, oh. He's like, what have you been doing? And I'm like, well, I went climbing. And then I had a list of all that because I'm a busy woman. I have a full life. Dudes who do nothing but think about you, they're a Ken, they're a Noah, and they're toxic. And their lack of confidence and knowing themselves, you're going to pay the price for that. Again, grand gestures. Why? They're going for Little Mermaid stuff here, except she can talk. And then when she finally sees him, he's like, look what I did for you. I built this house. I wrote you every day. Even though you're engaged to an amazing man who's hot, successful, and adores you. All I do is fight with you. I don't even know you, but I love the way you look and I have nothing going for me. So he got his doll. He got his trophy wife. He built a beautiful cage for her. And now the pretty little bird got the wings, but she got her art room. And instead of leaving her like most husbands do, she's stuck with this dude who's obsessed with her. Even with Alzheimer's, he won't just leave her alone. Stop consuming movies that men write, especially about love. Because this is all I'm an insecure man and I want a woman who is out of my league. And I'm going to pull her down and make her love me. And that's a beautiful love story, right? No. Fork this movie. But I love you, Ryan Gosling.